The night sky was quiet over Earth. Stars shined like silver dust and the moon looked calm. But high above, far beyond the sight of ordinary people, something was moving. Something vast from the dark edge of space. Ships appeared. They were not human ships. They were sharp, black and glowing with strange blue light. The ships moved like predators, silent and full of power. Inside those ships were the alien warrior women, fighters feared across many worlds. They were tall, strong, and proud. Their armor was shining, their eyes cold, and their hearts full of arrogance. For generations, these alien warriors had conquered planets. They crushed armies, destroyed cities, and made many civilizations kneel before them. To them, war was sport, victory was tradition. And now, their eyes had turned toward Earth. As their ships entered Earth's orbit, the warrior women laughed. To them, Earth looked small, weak, and unimportant. "This world is soft," one of them said. "These humans are nothing. They live with weak bodies and weaker hearts." Another warrior replied, "Yes, it will be easy. This planet will fall in a single breath." On Earth, people noticed strange lights in the sky. At first, they thought they were stars or meteors. But soon the lights grew brighter, larger, and closer. Across cities and villages, people pointed to the sky in fear and wonder. News channels reported strange objects above the atmosphere. Scientists tried to explain, but even they could not hide the truth. This was not natural. Something was coming. Then the first ship broke through the clouds. Its size was enormous, bigger than any building on Earth. The ground shook as the alien vessel hovered above a city. Its shadow covered entire streets. Windows shattered from the force. People screamed and ran in every direction. Cars stopped. Planes turned back. The world was in shock. From the ship, a voice boomed. It was loud, clear, and cruel. It was translated into every language on Earth. The message was simple. People of Earth, do not resist. You are weak. You are nothing. Your time as free creatures is over. Bow before us or be destroyed. The warrior women laughed as their words echoed. To them it was entertainment. They had seen this reaction before, the fear, the confusion, the hopelessness of weaker worlds. They enjoyed it. They mocked Earth, calling humans fragile, useless, and soft. Across the world, governments held emergency meetings. Armies were put on alert, fighter jets flew into the sky. Missiles were armed. But deep down, leaders and soldiers knew the truth. Earth's weapons were nothing compared to the technology of the aliens. The warrior women had destroyed far stronger civilizations. What chance did Earth have? Yet even in fear, some humans refused to bow. In dark rooms and hidden bases, plans were whispered. Soldiers clenched their fists. Scientists studied the invaders with sharp eyes. And in the hearts of ordinary people, anger began to rise. The aliens, however, did not see this. They only saw weakness. Their laughter grew louder. "Look at them," one alien said, watching people run in panic. "They are like insects running from fire," another smirked. "Yes, they are not warriors. They are prey." But above Earth, hidden in silence, the stars seemed to watch. And somewhere deep within humanity, something ancient stirred. Humans had always been underestimated. From the caves of old to the cities of today, they had fought wars, survived disasters, and risen again and again. The warrior women did not understand this history. They only saw what was on the surface. For now, Earth looked weak. For now, the warrior women laughed. But soon, very soon, they would meet those who carried Earth's true strength, the sons of Earth, and when that moment came, the laughter of the aliens would turn into silence. The story of defiance had only just begun. The ships of the alien warrior women hovered over Earth like dark mountains in the sky. Their shadows stretched across cities and oceans. People everywhere looked up with fear. Some prayed, some cried, some just stood in silence, unable to believe what they were seeing. Then the largest ship opened its gates. A beam of golden light shot down into the heart of a great city. Out of the light stepped the alien warrior women. They were tall, stronger than any human, their bodies wrapped in shining armor. Their eyes glowed with pride and cruelty. They walked with heavy steps, each movement echoing their power. The crowd froze, unable to move. The leader of the warriors raised her voice. It was harsh, commanding, and full of scorn. Her words rang out through the air and were broadcast on every screen across Earth. "Humans," she said, "you are weak. You are small. You are nothing before us." She laughed, and the other warriors laughed with her. The people trembled. Some hid behind walls. Some tried to run. But the aliens mocked them. "Look at them," one warrior sneered. They are like frightened children. They cannot even stand straight before us." Another pointed at a soldier holding his rifle tightly. "Do you think that toy can harm us?" "Watch this." She stretched out her hand, and with a wave the soldier's weapon bent like paper. The crowd gasped. The warriors laughed again. "Is this the best Earth can give?" The leader mocked. "These are your protectors? These are your armies?" She kicked the broken weapon aside. Pathetic. The aliens began to walk through the streets, laughing at the humans who watched from behind windows and rooftops. They smashed cars with their hands. They lifted heavy machines as if they were nothing. They mocked the tallest buildings, saying, "These towers are weak compared to our cities of steel and fire." Everywhere they went, fear followed. But with fear came something else, anger. In the hearts of many humans, a fire began to burn. Parents looked at their children and clenched their fists. Soldiers bit their lips in frustration. Leaders behind closed doors whispered, "We must not bow." Yet the aliens did not see this. They only saw fear, and fear, to them, was victory. One of the warriors stood before a camera and sent her words across the world. "We are the rulers of stars. We are the conquerors of worlds. Earth will belong to us. Your men are weak, your women weaker, and your children will serve as slaves. You have no hope. Surrender now." The message spread like lightning. Every television, every phone, every screen showed the aliens laughing. For some, hope died. But for others, hope turned into rage. In a small village, an old man whispered to his grandson, "Do not believe them. They do not know us." In a hidden base, young soldiers swore an oath, "We will not kneel." Across deserts, forests, and oceans, a quiet movement began. Humanity was not finished, but the warrior women were blind to this. They mocked even harder. They forced leaders of small nations to bow on live broadcast. They made soldiers throw down their weapons. They laughed as entire cities stayed silent. "This is too easy," one warrior said. "Where are their champions? Where are their warriors?" The leader smiled cruelly. "There are none. Earth is weak. Earth is ours, yet in the shadows Earth was watching. The sons of Earth were watching. They were waiting. The aliens thought they had broken humanity's spirit. They believed their mockery was complete. But in truth, they had lit a fire, and when that fire burned, it would burn brighter than any star. The alien warrior women laughed at Earth, but their laughter would not last. Soon they would face the truth of mankind. Soon they would encounter the strength that hides behind silence. Soon they would learn fear, for the sons of Earth were rising. The alien warrior women had mocked Earth for days. Their laughter echoed across the world. They walked through cities like conquerors, breaking machines, silencing armies, and forcing leaders to bow. To them, humanity was already defeated. But deep inside Earth, silence was turning into resistance. The humans were watching. Soldiers, scientists, and ordinary people. Everyone was waiting. The aliens thought Earth was weak. They thought humanity had no answer. But they were wrong. One evening, as the largest ship floated above the capital city, the leader of the alien warrior women made her declaration. She stood tall, her armor glowing with silver light, and spoke in a voice that shook the air. "Humans, you have been given a chance to surrender, but still you cling to foolish pride. So we will test you. Bring forth your strongest, bring forth your champions. Let them face us in battle. And when we crush them, you will know your weakness." Her words were broadcast across the world. People listened with fear and anger. A challenge. A cruel game. The aliens wanted to humiliate humanity, to show that even our best were nothing compared to them. The next day, the warriors came down again. They entered an open ground near the city. Thousands of humans were forced to gather and watch. The aliens stood tall, laughing, ready to fight. The first human soldier stepped forward. He carried a rifle and wore body armor. He looked strong, but the aliens smiled with contempt. "Is this your champion?" One of them sneered. The battle began. The soldier fired his weapon, but the alien moved faster than his eyes could follow. She disarmed him in a single strike, tossing him aside like a doll. The crowd gasped. The aliens laughed louder. Another soldier tried, and another. Each time, the result was the same. The alien warrior women moved with deadly skill, striking, throwing, mocking. They were not only winning, they were humiliating Earth's defenders. The leader shouted for all to hear. "Is this all you have? Is this the power of Earth's armies? We face no warriors here, only children playing with sticks." The humans in the crowd lowered their heads in shame. But not all.
In the back, some watched with sharp eyes.
Young men and women who carried fire in their hearts. They did not speak, but they were waiting. The aliens continued their game. They challenged more soldiers, breaking them one by one. They tore through weapons, crushed machines, and forced Earth's defenders to kneel. Every failure brought more laughter from the invaders. But something strange happened. With every defeat, the anger in humanity grew. The warriors thought their mockery was breaking Earth's spirit. Instead, it was planting seeds of defiance. A young boy in the crowd whispered to his father, "Why do they laugh? Don't they see we are not finished?" The father put a hand on his son's shoulder and said, "They will see. Soon they will see." On the battlefield, the alien leader raised her hand. "Enough," she said. "Earth has no champions. This world has no sons worthy of war. You are broken, and now you will serve." The crowd trembled. Fear washed over them again. The warriors prepared to leave, certain of their victory. But deep within that crowd, eyes were burning, eyes that did not accept defeat. The sons of Earth were there. They had not revealed themselves yet. They were waiting for the right moment. They had studied the aliens' moves, their arrogance, their mistakes. They had seen how the warriors laughed, blind to the fire they were waking. The challenge was supposed to prove humanity's weakness. Instead, it was opening the door for humanity's strength, and soon, very soon, the aliens would realize the truth. Earth was not without champions. Earth was not without warriors. The sons of Earth were ready to rise. The warrior women had thrown their challenge. They believed they had won. But the real battle had not yet begun. The world had watched in silence. The alien warrior women mocked Earth again and again. They crushed soldiers, destroyed weapons, and laughed at every attempt to resist. To the aliens, the challenge was over. Humanity was broken. But in truth, something far greater was happening. Their mockery was not killing the human spirit. It was awakening it. Across deserts, mountains, forests, and cities, people began to whisper. Young men and women who had been silent now stood taller. Farmers, workers, and soldiers alike felt the fire of defiance burning in their hearts. The warrior women thought Earth had no champions. They were wrong. The sons of Earth were rising. In a hidden valley, a group of young fighters gathered. They had no advanced weapons, no alien technology, but they had courage, training, and determination. Their leader, a soldier scarred by many battles, looked at them and said, "We cannot fight them with strength alone. We must fight with heart, with unity, and with the will to win. They think we are weak. We will show them who we are." At the same time, in the mountains, another band of warriors prepared. They were hunters, men and women who knew the land, who knew survival. They sharpened blades, built traps, and studied the sky where the alien ships hovered. "They laugh at us," one hunter said. "But they do not understand Earth. They do not understand us." Messages spread quietly across the world. Soldiers who had been defeated returned to their posts, not with despair but with new resolve. Scientists studied the aliens' armor, searching for weaknesses. Families encouraged their sons and daughters, reminding them of Earth's long history of survival. The sons of Earth were not chosen by kings or generals. They were not born with crowns or titles. They came from everywhere, villages, cities, armies, and even schools. They carried no magic, only the unbreakable spirit of humanity. When the aliens came again to mock another city, they found something different waiting. No soldiers bowed. No leaders begged. Instead, a small group of young men stepped forward. Their clothes were simple, their weapons old, but their eyes were steady. The alien leader laughed. "Is this your resistance?" More children, more insects, but the sons of Earth did not answer. They stood in silence, their eyes sharp, their fists tight. The leader smirked. "Very well. Let us end this quickly." The first alien warrior moved forward, confident and careless. She swung her blade with arrogance. But the human dodged faster than she expected. He struck back not with great power, but with clever skill. The alien stumbled, surprised. The crowd gasped. For the first time, a warrior of Earth had made one of the invaders fall to her knee. The laughter of the aliens grew weaker. Another son stepped forward. Then another. They fought not with fear, but with courage. They used teamwork, distracting the aliens, striking from angles, using the ground itself as their ally. The battle was not easy. Many fell. But for every human who fell, another stepped forward. The crowd that had once been silent began to cheer. The sound rose louder and louder, the sound of hope. The aliens were no longer mocking. Their smiles had faded. Their eyes narrowed with anger. "These humans, One hissed, "They should not be this strong." But strength was not what gave Earth its power. It was unity. It was defiance. It was the refusal to kneel. The leader of the warrior women clenched her fists. For the first time she felt something she had never felt before, a shadow of doubt. These were not the broken creatures she had mocked. These were fighters. These were warriors. Across the stars the aliens had conquered countless worlds. But never before had they faced the fire of Earth's suns. The rise had begun. The aliens had awakened something they could not control. The laughter of the warrior women was gone. In its place was silence, and the slow creeping taste of fear. The battle was no longer a show. It was the beginning of a war, and this time Earth was ready. The air over the city was heavy with silence. The alien warrior women had mocked Earth long enough. They had laughed, humiliated soldiers, and crushed weapons. But now things were changing. The sons of Earth had stepped forward. Their eyes burned with courage, and their hearts carried the weight of all humanity. The moment had come, the first real battle. The aliens stood tall, confident as ever. Their armor gleamed in the sunlight, their weapons sharp and deadly. They had fought countless wars and crushed countless enemies. To them, these humans were just another small obstacle. But deep inside, a spark of unease flickered. The sons of Earth moved into position. They had no advanced technology, no alien weapons, only the knowledge of survival and the fire of defiance. Their leader raised his hand and gave a single order. Fight together. Do not fear. The battle began with a roar. The first alien charged forward, blade flashing. A young human rolled aside, swinging his weapon into the alien's knee. The strike was not powerful, but it was clever. The alien stumbled, shocked by the precision. Before she could recover, another son attacked from the side, driving her back. The crowd gasped. For the first time, they saw the aliens forced to defend themselves. The warriors who had always mocked were now struggling to keep balance. The fight grew fiercer. The aliens swung their heavy weapons, strong enough to break stone. But the sons of Earth were quick, moving like shadows. They did not fight with strength alone. They fought with intelligence. One distracted the alien from the front while another struck from behind. Another led them into narrow spaces where their large armor became a weakness. The aliens gritted their teeth. This was no longer entertainment. It was war. The leader of the warrior women growled. "Crush them. Show them no mercy." Her soldiers obeyed, fighting harder, faster, but the humans matched them. They bled, they fell, but they rose again. Each time one son was struck down, another took his place. Their courage spread like fire through the crowd. People who had once hidden began to shout encouragement. Their voices rose. Fight! Fight for Earth! The battle was no longer just between a few warriors. It became a symbol. Every strike of a human blade was a message to the world. We are not weak, we will not kneel. One alien warrior swung her sword down at a young fighter. He blocked with his shield, the impact throwing him back. But before the alien could finish him, another son leapt from the side, tackling her with all his strength. Together, they forced her to the ground. The crowd erupted in cheers. The aliens looked around. Their laughter had vanished. In its place was frustration, and the first taste of fear. The leader watched closely. She saw her soldiers struggling against men who should have been nothing. These humans had no advanced training compared to her warriors, yet they fought with a power she could not explain. It was as if the whole planet itself was inside them. The battle raged for hours. Smoke filled the streets. Flames rose from broken machines. Both sides suffered losses, but the sons of Earth did not retreat. Step by step, they pushed the aliens back. One warrior woman shouted in anger, "This is impossible. They are weak!" But deep inside, she knew the truth. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was something else, something different, something dangerous. At last, as the sun began to set, the aliens called for retreat. Their leader raised her hand and signaled the ships above. Beams of light pulled them back into the sky. The battle was not won by humans completely, but it was not lost either. For the first time in history, the alien warrior women had been forced to withdraw. The sons of Earth stood tall, bruised and bleeding, but unbroken. The people in the crowd rushed forward, lifting them high, cheering with voices that shook the night. Hope had returned to Earth. The leader of the aliens stood inside her ship, watching the humans celebrate below. Her eyes narrowed. She whispered to herself, "These sons of Earth, they are not what we thought." And for the first time in many years, the alien warrior women felt something unfamiliar. Fear. The first battle had ended. But it was only the beginning of a war that would decide the fate of Earth, and perhaps the galaxy itself. The first battle had ended, but the war was only beginning. For the first time, the alien warrior women had been forced to step back. Their retreat shook the skies, and their silence was louder than their mocking laughter. Across Earth, people whispered with new hope. Across the alien fleet, doubt began to spread. Inside their great ship, the leader of the warrior women stood at the center of a glowing chamber. Her soldiers knelt before her, their faces hard but uneasy. Some bore wounds from the battle, wounds that should never have been possible from weak humans. The leader's voice was cold. "How?" she demanded. "Did mere humans force us back? Explain this insult." No one answered. The silence was heavy. The warriors looked at one another, their pride shaken. At last one spoke. "They fight with tricks. They fight with unity. It is not strength. It is something else. They do not fear death." The leader's eyes narrowed. She had fought many wars, but never had she seen such stubborn defiance. The humans did not bow. Even when broken, they rose again. She clenched her fist. "Then we will break them harder." But outside the alien ship, Earth was already preparing. The sons of Earth were not celebrating blindly. They were learning. Soldiers studied the battle, remembering every move of the aliens. Hunters and farmers joined the fighters, bringing their own knowledge. Scientists searched for weaknesses in alien armor. Engineers turned broken weapons into new traps. Humanity was changing fear into fuel. When the aliens returned to the surface, they expected a shaken world. Instead, they found resistance waiting. Villages armed themselves with traps hidden in the ground. Fighters struck from shadows, using streets and forests to their advantage. Wherever the aliens landed, they were met not with silence but with defiance. At first, the aliens grew angrier. They struck harder, destroying cities, burning homes, and leaving ruins behind. But even in ruins, humans stood tall. Even in ashes, voices cried out, "Well, we will not bow." The warrior women could not understand it. On other worlds, fear had always been enough. But Earth was different. Every attack only made the humans stronger. Every insult only lit more fire in their hearts. The turning point came during the Second Great Battle. The aliens marched into a city they had already crushed, expecting no resistance. But as they entered, explosions rocked the streets. Traps hidden beneath rubble tore through their ranks. Human fighters rose from the shadows, striking with everything they had. The aliens fought back with fury, but the humans did not break. They fought as if the entire planet's spirit was in their hands. One alien warrior shouted in rage, "Why will they not fall?" But the answer was clear. Humanity would rather die fighting than live as slaves. The leader of the warrior women fought fiercely that day. She cut through human lines, her blade glowing with alien energy. But everywhere she turned, new fighters stood against her. Men, women, even the young, none would bow. She struck one down, but two more came forward. She growled with frustration. For the first time, she realized the truth. Fear had changed sides. Her warriors began to falter. They looked around and saw not weak humans, but unbreakable defenders. The laughter that once echoed from their lips was gone. In its place was silence and whispers of doubt. The sons of Earth pressed forward. They fought with blood, sweat, and fire. Step by step, they pushed the aliens back. The streets rang not with cries of fear, but with the roar of defiance. By nightfall, the aliens retreated once again. Their pride was shattered, their confidence shaken. Inside their ship, the warriors sat in silence. None laughed. None mocked. The leader stood in the center, her jaw tight, her eyes dark. "They are not like others," she admitted at last. "These humans. They are different." And in that moment, every warrior in the room felt it. The great truth they had refused to see. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was dangerous. The turning point had come. Earth, once mocked, once laughed at, was now feared. And the war that was meant to be easy was now a war the aliens could no longer control. The galaxy would never forget what was happening on Earth. The skies above Earth were no longer calm. Smoke from burning ships hung heavy in the air. Cities bore scars of fire and battle. Yet in those same cities, voices of defiance rang louder than ever. The alien warrior women, once feared across the stars, now carried doubt in their hearts. For the first time in countless wars, they had been forced to retreat, again and again. Inside their grand flagship, the leader of the warriors stood before her soldiers. The chamber was silent. No one laughed. No one mocked. Their pride was wounded, their arrogance broken. The leader clenched her fists, her voice filled with rage. These humans, they fight without reason. They fight without fear. Even in defeat, they rise again. What are they? Her warriors could not answer. They had seen men and women fall, only to be replaced by more. They had seen entire cities destroyed, only for the survivors to gather and fight harder. They had seen weakness turn into fury, fear into fire. The lesson was already before them, though none dared to speak it. Meanwhile, on Earth, the sons of Earth stood tall. Bruised, bloodied, and scarred, they had proven something greater than victory. They had proven that humanity was unbreakable. Around campfires, in ruined streets, and in hidden bases, the people of Earth repeated the same words. We will not kneel. The final confrontation came when the aliens returned for one last strike. They descended with their full force, determined to crush the resistance and end the war. Their ships filled the skies. Their warriors marched in formation. It was meant to be the last battle, a total conquest. But Earth was ready. The sons of Earth had grown stronger with every fight. They had studied the enemy, learned their moves, and found their weaknesses. Scientists had discovered cracks in alien armor. Soldiers had built traps from the wreckage of fallen ships. Farmers, hunters, and workers stood shoulder to shoulder with trained fighters. This time, all of humanity rose together. When the aliens struck, they were met not with fear but with fire. Explosions rocked their landing sites. Traps tore through their ranks. Human fighters swarmed with courage that no alien weapon could crush. Every street, every field, every mountain became a battlefield. The warrior women fought with fury, but the tide had turned. For every alien strike, 10 human strikes answered. For every city they tried to take, the sons of Earth rose in defiance. The invaders looked into the eyes of humanity and saw no fear, only determination. The leader of the alien warrior women clashed with Earth's defenders herself. She fought with skill and strength, but no matter how many she struck down, more rose to face her. She growled in frustration. Why do you not fall? Why do you not surrender? A young fighter, bleeding but unbroken, shouted back, Because we are human, and we do not bow. Those words echoed across the battlefield. They carried through the crowds, through the streets, through every corner of Earth. Humanity roared as one. At last, the aliens could take no more. Their pride shattered, their numbers broken. They fled to their ships. With fire in the sky, their fleet pulled away from Earth. For the first time in their long history, they had been defeated not by technology, not by numbers, but by spirit. Silence filled the world as the ships disappeared into the stars. Then slowly cheers rose from every city, every village, every corner of the planet. Humanity had won. But more than victory, Earth had earned respect. The galaxy would remember this day. The lesson was clear. Never underestimate Earth. The alien warrior women, once laughing conquerors, now carried shame in their hearts. As they retreated into the cold darkness of space, their leader whispered bitterly, We mocked them, but they taught us fear. And across the stars the story spread. A new name was spoken with respect and caution. Not the name of armies, not the name of kings, but the name of a people. Humans. The war had ended, but the lesson would never be forgotten. Earth was no longer the world mocked by invaders. Earth was the world that fought back. The sons of Earth had risen, and the galaxy would never laugh at them again.